What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. People are freaking out over this buyout today. John, have you seen $30 plus Ultra Dark Loss? It's so crazy. First time the Hero buyout? We've already covered a couple this week. It's because Hero lives peeled off the ban list and people are going a million miles per hour. And oh, you remember Dark Law Toad? You remember? A lot of people going back to that nostalgic time that people did not enjoy that matchup. It was a fearsome matchup. You see Ultimate Rare Dark Claw way up in price past what it really should be due to that history in the game, and people are going for second banana because all that's left are super rares and commons besides that, and those are actually becoming slowly a little pricey. So people targeted this one. Duel Saga has a very interesting history of being a failed March reprint set. People being divisive on the rarity similar to Gold Series. I don't like it. The EU ones are so freaking bendy straight out the pack, but here we are. People are going for this, and that is relatively why. Nice hero stuff that has been bought out multiple times, had the multiple spikes over time. You can see each time fall out, and that's similar to the old Dark Law buyouts. The ulti was bought out for failed buyouts so many times, going to 100, back to 60, going to 120, back to 75, but over time it did increase. The reality of it is, though, that first place now isn't worth it. People tried to buy it out around that 500 range. Remember $750 listings, people freaking out over that. A new high for Ultimate Rares. Maxi finally getting past, and it fell back down. Still very impressive where it's at. Most of the near mints still sell above $470 with light plays around 400, but people just aren't going for the ulti like that anymore, and the second banana got bought out. Teardrop Rika Queen. This one is spiking. People are freaking out over this too. You have plant good stuff on one hand. Power of the Elements also has Rika support on the other hand. Do I think Rikas are suddenly taking over on their own with the new support? It's decent. Probably not like that, but does mix into plant good stuff interestingly. And you see the Rika Searcher spell. It's still up in price from those previous buyouts. And Snowdrop, the Rika Fairy, is pretty much still up in price for a super rare. Secret Slayer's prices aren't going down anytime soon for the sealed. You had Eldritch. Remember, you're a boomer now if you came into the game when Eldritch got printed. It's been a couple of years. And then you also have Adamancipator in the set. It was ripped open a ton, so there were a lot of Rikas lying around, but vendors, if they're bothering to pick out bulk and go for this and find this card, they're not trying to undercut the market too hard on it with all of the hype that it has going on. Stay Classy has an instant fusion field center. I love this one with Theseus Best Monster 2017 on the back. Code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly. Works on this thick, I love the sound, the quality, metal field center, and I'll be asking the sponsor for a couple of these my own, maybe for some stream giveaways. Dimension Force. What goes up must come down. That does happen a lot with the market on a newer set, and it was either going to be double down buyouts or was the community truly rushing week one at a set, and it's looking like that. Maybe tournament results this next weekend will change things, but Borea back down. You can see market price 25 now instead of being up towards $30, $40. You have Regulus heading back towards 70, which is still way more than it was at first. And also you have the field spell now around $15, but if you bought the field spell at 5, that's still a triple up. Even if it goes down towards 12, 10, that's still a double up. You also have the Fire Libromancer really trying to hang around at the price of $9, and I think that's because this is a fun to play OTK deck that it feels good when you're winning with it and comboing with it, and that's rare in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! So people really enjoying kind of the pacing of this deck. And on the note of shakeups thanks to Defo, you do have this guy, Rose Paladin, also getting looked at now. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, not really the effect you want to read, but it is a bonus one. You contribute this card and special summon a plant type monster from your hand or deck in defense. It's also 1800, so not the biggest joke. But then you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to add one level 7 or higher plant monster from your deck to your hand hard once per turn on that effect. So it just straight out searches the Therion card, which is kind of nice for the deck to have another searcher that is also beefy and able to play. So the gold version is spiking on up, and people are going for that over the Rose Bell. And you do have a common out of Legendary Duel Season 2. Very well timed by Konami to have foresight on that one. pre-preparation of rights is most likely due to the Libromancer stuff. And I also noticed prep ultra rares are really up there, kind of nice for past formats. First ed SOVR, extremely hard to get, which is why this will always stay way above the unlim, if you're wondering why the first eds are so hard to get. And true near mints, a lot of edge peeling, foiling on these cards in Stardust Overdrive makes true near mints extremely hard to see. But the Ultra, nice substitute, and I see why it's up in price. And almost every version of regular prep is about $1, while the pre-preps are being looked up for this deck, and almost all of them are under 30 total listings or less, with the highest rarities starting to spike up in price. And speaking of Libromancer, I did not know that they played Diviner. I was informed of that. I haven't been looking too hard around at the list, but now I need to start doing that. Diviner is up not only because of that though, but Benton went to 2, and Drytron's a serious deck again, with some of the most degenerate plays in the format, and also one of the only decks putting out a negation ability versus that back and forth that's being offered in a lot of the format. There is super polymerization though that is able to steal Herald, and you do have other answers, but I also want to say that the deck plays against D-Barrier a lot better than many decks, because if they call Ritual to stop that play, you can still go Zeus, and you have different options to really go around when it comes to Drytron. So don't underestimate that deck, but Diviner continuing to spike up despite its reprint clock ticking towards those Megatons. It's around 6-9 not so nice dollars. Sword Soul has been continuing to go up, and now the ultra rare searcher card Emergence is really low on quantities, even though, you know, we're starting to see settling on Mo Yi and those sorts of cards. One thing I would like to point out though is the Starlight Rare Grandmaster Chijiao is really starting to go off of the market. So if you want yours, get it sooner than later using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, especially if you want to flex it during the national season, because front page is quickly 175 from 150, and there aren't the most sellers on this card either, with just 2 pages, and that second page being very sparse and going up in price very fast. Pendulum Hype, it never ceases. Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser still only with 1 printing, and a great enabler for pens in general. This card is starting to just spike up, although you do see deals very low feedback seller, oof, and then it's around $10. Another pen card going way up is Pendulum Call. This is getting hard focused, and I would probably sell into the hype if you do have extra copies of this card, but if you're pinned for life, of course, stick with it in your deck. Harpy Harpist is super low on the super rare copies. I'm not quite sure why this buyout is going down. Let me know if Try Harpy suddenly has some hype, or if there's a different mix with Adventure Token Engine or something there. Let me know why this is getting targeted, especially since it's a Lart candidate with so many Harpies being larded now. It's another one that could just end up on the list. So let me know why you think the super rare is going. Of course, it has a common and a rare that are not the most expensive in the world, yet still $1 rare is pretty good. Pot of Prosperity is something I was staring at over here, and while it's not moving too much for its main version, the Starlight version had a little spiky spike throughout, I would guess, I don't know, maybe ban list hype. A couple copies sold around 550, but you have tons and tons and tons of sales lining up under that 500 mark, yet now none of those are available, and the lowest are 540. No more deals of these, and they quickly do go up towards 650. Let me know what you think about Pot of Prosperity. Is it people really just trying to reprint armor their purchase and protect their value by throwing more money at it? This could be a long-term one that does stay up very well above 500, so I don't blame people if they're just wanting to not bother selling when Megatons are coming, but 1,500 is a lot to invest in order to do that. Or are they just trying to flex for the national season? That could be it too. And finally, I was watching MCole40's Market Watch today, and Bailings was like double in price. You also had Spinny a lot more in price earlier today. So this is how quick things can cool down, like half of a day. That's why I like to do these unedited and just flow and say my thoughts here, but Man, that's crazy to see it just slash in half that quick. So many people ready to list their salad stuff. But the impressive thing is, I didn't know these were $60. I have 6 of these laying around. I was like, yo, Billy, let's get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe with salad. Try to get him back to IRL Yu-Gi-Oh! When he was in the house. So I have 6 of these laying around. I might do something with as like a stream prize, or maybe I'll actually sell them. I don't know, but it's really impressive to see it all the way up there, considering how Ash Blossom has become like a $30 card so many freaking times. Heavy play, yikes. It's not too surprising to see it naturally start to press past 40 to 50 and now 60 with so many good cards inside. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. Let me know what you thought of like actually meta changes happening now as we're heading through that Nat season. It's not just all, oh, this future hype, oh, Splight buyouts, oh, this, that ban list speculation. Now the ban list is here. We have a ton of buyouts going around the metagame, still revolving from the ban list such as this. But what do you guys think of the market and how volatile it has been this time? Dimension Force, we've never seen week 1 rushes like that towards the cards on any set in that big of a mass, and that was kind of crazy to see too. But it's chilling out unless people are going to do double down buyouts slash the communal hype is very real, and it doesn't quite seem to be there with a lot of sellers willing to list and compete on the market. That's very good with how you see this 90 listers on Borea. I think that's good for the game overall. Thanks for watching, everybody.